Previously on the fourth culture. The party had found Princess Malina and her people, who are looking in the ruins for 3 pieces of the jade diadem. As we settled down for rest for the night, we decided to set up watch, and we also decided to introduce ourselves to her people so that, we can work together harmoniously. Yes. So we met the two half-elf brothers, Cham and Aramana. Yes. So Cham seems to be the more talkative one, and Aramana is very not talkative at all. He wears a mask on the lower half of his face. It's very safe for COVID. We also met Professor Samuelson, whose field of interest is in comparative archaeology and mythology in the Darani Sea and Najuan area. He was very interested in Kaman, a bit scarily interested. So Kaman did try to make small talk and ask him about the King of Chorus. And Professor Samuelson said that, it should be the title of the current ruler of the CFs. And then he also asked about Bolda and said something about, Bolda, his ascension is not complete or something like that. Not sure what all that meant. But he did mention that ascension is when sometimes the demigods are very powerful. They gain so much power already, they can leave Urtu entirely. And then often this thing will need a lot of rituals for them, and then need a lot of people to die in order to power the rituals. Something like that. So we were like, that's wonderful. Maybe next time we talk some more. Okay, bye-bye. So after that, we set up a watch order with the 2 brothers. Kie then entered the sword of Koshi. And then I took the sword and went on first watch with Cham. While we were on watch, Bara cast a sending to Akras to update him about the situation, and then also asked whether our rescue mission was actually an excuse to get the Namandan Union into war. We got a reply from Akras, calling Duke Antaros a bastard for selling out his own country. And then after that, got another reply from the same voice that that Bara heard when he cast the sending from the scroll, saying, "Is Malina safe?" And that she is the last of her line. So we need to make sure she is, safe and coming back. So we replied that we are helping her with a quest so that we can get her back. Inside the sword, Kie met with Riaka and trained with him. And asked him about the Bulda and the Dragon Emperor. And then he had a complete face journey. He went from to basically along those lines. So he heard Bulda's name and then he heard Dragon Emperor's name. So we found out, or rather she found out, that the Dragon Emperor was actually his brother. And that he had died many, many thousands of years ago. And he was very sad because he was nowhere near his brother when he died. And then he said that Bolda is a lying, manipulative, scheming bastard and is tucked away somewhere where he can't do anything. But he had infected Riaka during that time and was probably, responsible for him doing a lot of things that he didn't want to do. And supposedly, Bolda had ascended like Riaka's father. So we don't know who Riaka's father is also. And that, yes. So we told him, or rather she told him that the princess wanted to take back the jade diadem. However, Riaka himself didn't really know much about it, except for the fact that his brother wore it. It was a crown. It helped him to, manage his empire or something like that. Allowed the wearer to be the ruler of ancient Karambiat. And that it was broken. That's all we know. So after that, he also asked, can you come out of the sword like that Cyclops guy who kept haunting my nights? And we learned that, or rather she learned that it was a possibility. But then, price must be paid as with all things, So on watch, outside, Koshi suddenly started to talk to me, which was very alarming because, all this time, 30 over episodes, nobody talked to me in my head. Then suddenly got the sword. The sword started to make friends with me. He's very nice, not bad, can chat, but still alarming. So not used to talking with somebody with no face, Anyway, so I learned that he was actually around for a much longer period, than even before the Dragon Emperor. Second watch, Kaman and Aramana went out. Kaman was looking at the walls and he realized that there were markings there. And they could be vandalism of some kind. He wasn't very sure. But some of the inscriptions seemed to have a bit more meaning. And there was a symbol of a serpent around a trident that seemed very familiar. He asked Aina about them, but for some reason couldn't get an answer. The actual reason is he wrote very bad, but anyway. Then the third watch, Bara went out for the third watch. And then Kaman pointed out the symbol to him. And then Bara recognized it as being on the chest plate of the guy who was holding this coral staff when we were fighting the shark people on the ship. That was a very upsetting time. Anyway, then Bara wrote a song for Malina, and then he had a chat with Auntie Agatha about the various women in his life. And Auntie Agatha let slip that we're actually quite near Afina. Oh, interesting. Anyway, the new day came. Nothing happened during the watch. Bara sang a song for everybody so that we were a little bit more boosted, and we all exited Sonali's room. Ha! And then we realized that, excuse me, how come the princess is not here? However, her own people was like, huh? Who? What? And that's where we discovered that Princess Malina had actually gone around and erased all their memories, took all the research, and fucked off. All her people don't know her. All her people don't know that they were there to help her. We all remember. I don't know why she only fucked with them only, but it's okay. Never mind, it's fine. So, Bara did everything that he could to try and find him. Her. He cast a scrying and then found Malina walking down a dark corridor that was not submerged, then into a membrane with water again, and then found this cavern, and then there was a well inside, and then the well had this elven spirit come out, and then after that they talk, and then they started to fight. Who? Her, Malina, and the sea elves, and the elven spirit woman. Very exciting. Not sure what is going on. So, yes. He definitely saw that there was a shrine or a burial memorial inside the room. And it was very clear that this group had invaded a burial chamber of some kind. And then, based on that, and the fact that the F ghosts look a bit familiar, Bara believed that could have been Suhani or Nagara, one of the Dragon Emperor's advisors who was supposedly protecting the diadem, one piece of the diadem. Kaman then tried to track the princess. How? In the water? I don't know. But somehow he and he's, able to smell her somehow in the water. But she was leading away from where we were. And then we thought about it for a while, and then after that realized that, hey, maybe it's a good idea to just search for the piece of diadem that was in this place. Because she need all three, ma. Oh, it's not enough. All three must have. So, if nothing else, she will come back to us. Yes. And then Kie came out from the sword after I asked Koshi very nicely whether she can come out or not. She came out. I updated her about what happened. And then, then after that, Arawana went to scout ahead the two sides. One side, he found a steaming room. The other side, he found a locked door. And then we decided to go to the locked door because if they lock it, means got thing behind, right? It's a good idea? Yes. So after that, there was some attempt to unlock the door. It didn't work out too well, so Sunali went there, chiba-boom, the door exploded. And then we went inside, and there were 3 plinths inside the chamber that was lit. And that is where we left off.